Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Right. Good morning, everybody. Oh, let's make sure that our little pen. Yeah. I don't think it starts up by default. There we go. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So here's our setup for today. So you can see here, there's actually kind of a little bit of a balance area right here at 31. I'll highlight. Okay, right here. Right? There's kind of balance. So this was range extension up. Now we should get range extension down. Right? So this area I think is what we'd be looking for. I think this could continue lower. And you can see right here we're already at the low of the session. So that is in the Treasuries, and then in the E-mini they are testing the top of this range already. So the context here is a little bit different. Here's the balance area. Okay, right here could potentially break out, although it's a holiday. Well, there's a holiday tomorrow. So I don't know, we've seen some big moves into holidays before, so it's not like it can't move or anything, but it is a unique setup. So I think we should be careful about that. We do have factory orders at 8 o'clock, but other than that, there's nothing. And then of course, Thursday, there's like some big news. So even if we do continue to trend lower, it might be slow, right? Bitcoin, on the other hand, oh, what's wrong here? What's wrong with my Bitcoin chart? Well, that don't seem right to me. They're up. They're up at 65. So there was a big buy yesterday. Quite a big buy, in fact. So now we've had 2 or 3 of them in a row. And so there's a little bit of selling coming in, but it didn't really impact them. I think we could range up around here for a while. They might even try and test 7,000, but we're still overbought, so who cares? This isn't safe to buy. Yeah. Oh, and I guess we should pull in links too, huh? Oh, look at that, and it just fell right there. Well, I kind of don't want to be taking it before they open anyways, so let's get the links. Are we not actually streaming? Oh, yes, we are. There it is. There it is. And yeah, I have some food. I don't have the best start to the day, so I'm gonna eat a little bit, and I'm gonna wait for some movement to the upside, and seeing somebody get trapped before I take any trades, and it may happen at 120 here, so that's what I'm gonna watch. Hopefully it doesn't just bust right down through here, but not so sure that it's safe to take here at the moment. I mean, it could bounce up a little bit here. It's touched that 30 a couple of times now. Okay, there you go. It's an uptick. Oh dear, look at that. What does the tape look like when that's coming through? It's just a mess of random orders. I don't know. I've never seen that before. I mean, obviously we've seen an iceberg, but the way that they hit into it and the way that the iceberg was stacking was really bizarre. So that was a really interesting take there, and I'll be interested to see if they take back up. But I don't want to take a trade here. In this spot, it's been kind of rangy here between 30.5 and 31, even up to 120. Frankly, even up to sorry, 1/2. So, yep, I'm gonna eat and we're gonna watch this. Okay, well, they took a really good solid look there lower, and they couldn't do it. Behavior by the Longzo is not. It's a little bizarre, to be honest. They seem just. If I had to bet about what was happening, I do think that the E-mini is going to break out of the range. But we don't know that, and we're in a part of the profile that it's not safe to trade still. We need to get above 120. I could take it short at 120. But really what I want to see is I want to see some sort of a lure or some sort of a trap to trap buyers. And I don't think it's this at 31.5. This is just the balance area. Okay, there was a hit in the 5-year there. So we kind of got a strange setup here that I don't like either, because I'm seeing like here's a profile, but then here's a profile. Okay. So they're definitely leaning, and you notice that it's kind of more like, yeah, let me redo that. It's kind of gradual coming up here and then zoom, right? Now what's over here? This thing right here. So there's a huge volume node in the 5-year that we might get sucked back into. And then I don't know what happens. Like, are we going to rotate around here? There is a little bit of there's a little bit of buying volume coming into the 5-year there. Same in the 30. And this 040 right here. Okay, here's this one. Here's one that's showing up right here. It's flashing. Wouldn't be able to see it without the Vista chart. Interesting. Oh no, that's terrible. We're just gonna stick with yellow. Stick with yellow. White? What about white? White is okay. Kind of like white. I think yellow is the best though. More heat map nonsense. Yeah, showing pretty similar thing. Okay, so I see a little bit of an indication of spreading. Hmm. So they all three ticked up, but they didn't really. Was not a very convincing uptick, was it? Mm, I think our Twitch stream might be screwed up, guys. Because when I look at it, it's uh, just a blank screen. Just getting a blank screen. Yeah. Yep. There is one person watching. But I don't think. I think a restream is messed up. This might be it here. I remember seeing a bit of action like this yesterday where there was some sort of an iceberg and then they're able to trade up through the iceberg, but then they got trapped. I think that was what Tucker was talking about too. So you can see, wow, 700 absorbed there on the bid. In the 30 year. That gave them some confidence, so I think that scratches that idea. This right here. The highlighter to make it bigger. It was right here. Yeah, well, now it's gone, but refreshed, but it was right there. 700. Now I'm seeing this week. Okay, they ticked up. Boost your oh yeah. I have it. I haven't boosted it. Yeah, I think John Grady has it at 10K too. But I don't know. I usually don't miss it, so I remember that it was there. I wish that you could change it based on which direction it went up, because here it was 700 and it ticked up and then it came back down and then another 400 traded. So that says to me that there's another iceberg. But if it traded down through the 700 and then traded back up, I would want it to reset. Does that make sense? Because they got through it. I want to see how much was there each time that they go through it. If they go through it, then I want to see it reset. Going through it meaning that some would actually have to trade at 20. Okay. Hmm. A little bit of fighting at 120, but that offer at 05 is just way too flaky, you know? And they're hitting it. They're pulling. See here, it says that the buyers are pulling a little bit, and they're definitely pulling in the 5-year. You can see it really strongly over here in ZF, this right here. When you look at it in ZN, it's not quite the same story. It's definitely not the same story in ZB. ZB is just like a mess right now. So, the thing I find interesting is that they're selling in the 10-year. Well, not selling, but every step along the way, there's icebergs on the offer. Right? There's an iceberg at 31 half. There was one just as big at 120 even, and now there's one at 120 0 half. Look at that. They really refreshed that one. Well, and the VWAP bounce has already happened once, so they could test the other side of it. And 05 is just really just the last pivot, so no, that's why nobody's trading one. Okay, at least one has gone through at one. So that's a higher high by a tick. You need to see 1/2 to really confirm this up, give us a chance at an uptrend. I think that they're gonna get it. Okay. This might be it right here. Yeah. I don't know. I still feel like we're in pretty rangy high volume here. But we are on the edge of it, so we could sell 0.5. And they did tick up, but only if you traded into one. And now they're having a hard time clearing this offer. Also, there was a change in the DOM there, right? When we ticked down, that 46 at 01 really stacked up. I'm gonna try it. Okay. Filled. Strong bid at 05. Nothing going into 01 yet. And I would like to see some sort of a lure. So that 05 bid getting real strong really fast is a little bit of what we wanted to see, but it would have been better if we just... I don't know, it was 37.40, right? Yeah, and when that ticked up, it didn't, maybe 400 pulled off of 01 and 02. Now, of course, if we tick back down, I'm sure that they will stack again, but probably even stronger. But this does not look like quite what I expected, does it? Well, I take that back. I did expect there to be a lot traded there at 05, 0.5. And I expected a strong bid and that only a few orders would hit into here. So it's only 110 still. It's only small orders doing it. Now, of course, if they just take it all at once, then I think that I just got to jump out at a 1/2. Okay, so that just thickened up a little bit at a 1. There was an iceberg in the 5-year that they hit, I think was part of what made that happen. also see the E-mini at a potential pivot low. So that means that the E-mini direction is in line with our short. So that's good. Okay, there they hit it. And there was 1154 hit back. That's not what should be happening, I think. Oh, look at that iceberg in the 5-year. Ooh. So somebody trying to sell it here. And the only big order was in 999. Okay, that bid is getting strong again. That's not. Yep. That's not, that wasn't good. So I think we're wrong here. Yep. I think once again I was a little bit late to get out. Like when it ticked down, let me type it. Yeah, so the question is, up until that point, was it, if it pushed higher, would I buy? I don't know. Tough question, Tucker. I think that at the current time, probably not. Like, that to me was a pretty big win for them and a lot of volume to do it. And the 5-year is already bumped up off of it, like 6, or sorry, my head's all over the place, dude. Okay. When we saw the 5574 at 1.4 in the 5-year, that is definitely what caused that move up, for sure. Just based on we saw it, and then after that they turned around and they went a couple of ticks up. That was the place that was going to turn around, and the 5-year extended it. Now what I'm seeing though is that the 5-year can only go so far, so the 5-year is probably going to turn around here, right? So I don't think you want to buy it yet. But that to me does look like a really positive uptrend. So I don't think that I want to be going short. So we could maybe see it come back to like well, we should probably pay attention more to the 5 years. So this 1.4 where it happened might be tested again, and then we can make our decision after it's been tested. Oh man, so now they're selling it at 15 and there's another iceberg there. And iceberg at 1.5. E-mini's still at the low. Well, not the low, but kind of near a pivot low. Yeah, I don't know. Well, so what I'm trying to say, Tucker, is when you get a divergence, it's better to let it see which way the divergence is going to resolve itself. Because either you're going to get a rush of buy volume into the 5-year to equalize it up, or the 5-year is going to reverse and come back down to where it should be based on the cumulative delta, and I can't predict which way it's going to go. Yeah, it could be a rush of buy volume though. Okay. Now they're pulling liquidity in ZB, yeah. Catch. You can just see it right here. All the liquidity pulling. But it's still this area, like this 30. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for it to pull back. I don't want to trade it on a divergence. I used to trade that sort of a thing and try and guess which way it was gonna go, but I'm not so sure that that actually had edge. That's definitely one we should check though, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen a divergence that strong in a while, so let's put something in our spreadsheet. So the entry is going to be 120.025. ZB really moved up there too. When that went, the ZB just shoot. It's also probably a little bit too close to the mini open for me to take a trade. It could definitely happen. I'm seeing, so you see that iceberg in the 30-year? 144.27, 719 traded into it. It's a little, so it's 2 ticks off of the high. That seems like an odd spot for them to be trying to catch it, don't it? That's defense in my opinion. Yeah, it sucks because obviously we would much rather be in a no one, like a lot of those trades where I took them at the VWAP. Yeah, so one thing I should point out about the VWAP while we're talking about it. Um, so this right here, so there's a push probe of the VWAP. This is just kind of rebalancing, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily consider that one a VWAP bounce, but then usually the first time that they come back, they almost always bounce, almost always. So that's the first time, right? The second time you don't know. And so here they went through it. But again, it's kind of the same thing. They haven't reached like one standard deviation, so it's maybe just a rebalancing. So the the most favorable scenario, I think, like the highest probability trade for us, is for this down move to lose some steam here and come back 2 or 3 ticks really quickly, and then we could take it long. I wouldn't want to do that while the E-mini is sticking around, but yeah, that's what I would like to see. And there's totally a possibility that it stops here and it comes all the way back to the 31, frankly. Like, what if the E-mini opened up and they immediately went for the highs at 27.45? That could happen, right? And then we're not going to be buying anymore. But I would say the Treasury is making a move like that, especially it's in the 5-year, it's pretty strong up. I think that is an indication that they're going to try and sell the E-mini off of the open. That's what I would be looking for. But if the E-mini sells off, then, you know, we could see there's this target at 4. That seems like a pretty good target that's been there for a long time. Beyond that, I don't know. So at 4, we might see a reversal, and if we do, we could take. Then we could revert to some range-bound trading and try and take it between 04 and 31. Okay, so there was a big buy in the 10-year right there. Ooh, all 3 of them actually. Well, that iceberg at 0.25 is enough to want to try and buy it for sure. Honestly, think I could buy it. Well, I don't like where we are in relation to the E-mini, don't get me wrong. But that is strong enough of a trend signal to not that we can't ignore it. I think the better play here, though, is to just go and short the E-mini. Okay, now that one you really have to take. Which could mean it's getting close to over, but I think you can. Oh man, look at that. Is that the price that I said that I would get out at? I don't know. I just saw the iceberg there. They ticked up and there was an iceberg immediately there trying to buy it. You can't mess with that one, man. I mean, somebody wants to buy it for sure. Oh, I don't know. I was not. Where was I? The 03. Oh yeah, it was a pivot. Mm-hmm. At the moment, well, so you were saying you did say buy 025 and exit at 06, but if I would want to see 040 first. Yeah. I still think that the better trade here is probably to sell the E-mini right there at 27.38. Yep, look at that. See, these bids are going to try and make themselves look like they're strong, but then we should either plow through them or there should be pulling. And in ZB, we should look because ZB is already on highs of its session. So next step is 145. Oh man, this could just keep going. Well, they're gonna want to go to 145 at least. You look at ZB, it's really pulling. Look at how thick the blue is over here. How thick the blue is right there. How thick the blue is, I don't know. You gotta be careful if we see like a The stop run higher. We gotta be a little bit careful. That bid is really stacking now. It's curious. Look at that, more absorbed on the bid. $10. You pull, come on. You. A really strong bid in 30-year. Okay, a little bit of pulling. At least 1,000 pulled. Is this bid gonna get more than 4? Yep. And since they're trading at 0.45 now as aggressively as that, I'm gonna stay in it. And there was still 4,000 absorbed at 0.40 when they came back the other way, so that looks good for continuation. Yeah. Okay, now don't like what I'm seeing here in the E-mini. But the treasuries continue to appear like they're going to continue. So that buy in the E-mini, they came back, but it didn't take a whole lot of volume. I think that's a little suspicious. They're still absorbing a lot at 04. I don't know who that is, IQ. Okay, so here the sellers are coming back in, I think. And the S&P, I think, what I mean. Oh, okay. I think I maybe saw that once, but I don't really remember much about it, so. This 04 is still absorbing. I don't know. What I'm worried about is that they tick down through one of these icebergs and people start bailing. And I'm worried that if it fails here in the 10-year, that it does so very, very quickly. Okay, so the E-mini is going down. There's more sell, almost a new low in cumulative delta. Price hasn't quite followed through yet, though. The 10-year looks good. The 30-year looks good. The 5-year, it's stuck. Okay, well, since the 5-year is doing a back and forth thing, okay, so they stepped up and they're absorbing on the bid again. There goes there. Now the E-mini's really starting to go. I think that with this trade, we should see a much bigger sell than that in the E-mini, no? They wouldn't be buying up that many 5-years just for 3 points down. Yeah, this is gonna have to go now in ZB. The next target is 07. No, this still feels like a bit much, but I can't ignore what I'm seeing, right? Okay, well that time they traded down 15.19 and there was a lot more there. They pulled a little bit at 0.45. So that might be what we're looking for. Or at least a temporary. Okay. Well, the E-mini trade worked out really well. By when? Oh, who knows, dude. Okay. See that? Okay, that's why I got out. So it could continue through, but I think that that's enough of a node there at 0.45 to take some caution. And that puts us positive on everything. It might push through here at 0.45. I don't know. I think you can. So I will say, it didn't quite go as clearly as I wanted it to. But I saw they were trading it. I took it short. I think at around 37, 20, 27, 37. Yeah. I think it's a good trade for how many ticks was it? 8 ticks or whatever? I think it's a good trade. Because what I see is people are buying treasuries to hedge themselves against selling in the E-mini. And the E-mini wasn't going down yet. I think it's a good trade. What makes you call it a crapshoot? Yeah, I think Keith uses. No, who is it that uses Sierra? Maybe it is Keith. Yeah, he does use Sierra. There you go. I don't know. We're gonna have to keep trying it. That was the first time that I felt like that I took that I felt confident in the trade and that I was like doing it right and catching the right spot and everything. The positioning on it still seems to matter a lot, but so now I think I could start tracking it a little bit more accurately. Oh, my stop is still there in the E-mini. Should pull up the things and go to trading. Close outstanding orders when a position is closed. Did it save that? Yes, it did. Okay. So tell me this, I know a couple of you guys bought through there what sounded like you guys did 025 in the 10-year? Oh, you didn't take that? I'm really confused, dude, because you're all talking to me like you think I should really take a trade. And I'm sitting here over here trying to be like, no. Stick to to what you got. Try not to pay attention to what they're saying. And then you didn't take it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't understand. But you don't want to fade 04 half at that, huh? Today was the 1 in 10th day that chasing was. No, 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 no. It was not the 1 in 10 days that chasing pace. It was the 2 in 10 days because yesterday you could have chased 2. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Even if you're chasing, well, let's not call it chasing. So first thing, buying it at 03 was not chasing. Okay. 03 was was an after she goes continuation signal, strong tick up, they sell it, there's an iceberg there immediately. That's somebody that really wants to buy it. So that was a continuation signal at 03. But you know, I don't think it's if you do chase though. Sorry, I forgot what my point was. If you do chase, you're probably not going to get more than 4 out of it. It just depends on the context. Yeah. So is the trend day clue after it pushed up 8 ticks? Yeah. How would I put it? Okay. I think that the point at which we should start treating it like a trend. This is just a theory, and I don't think that I've been consistent on this, and I'm trying to come up with these rules to be consistent on this, because it used to just be that I would always buy it above the VWAP and sell it below the VWAP, right? But I think that the signal that we got was when we came up here to this height, this pivot high, and we got 1 tick above it, and then it appeared that we were going to fail. And then we busted through it, not just by a tick, but by 2 ticks, and got up to the next pivot. So that, I think, was signal 1. And then I think when it came here and there was a little gap right there, they went 2 ticks without ticking back into it at 025. Then it was definitely a trend. And then at that point at 025 and 03, then you could start seeing that they were absorbing on the bid. Then you could take that signal. I think that's the right way to play it. Or, I mean, that would have worked in this instance. I don't know if it works long term. But, yeah. And then, of course, the thing that I'm looking for in my exit is either a really strong absorption on the offer or a balance node. So the fact that it's ticked back and forth here at 04 half a bunch of times, you know, that's why I got out there. No. I think And keep in mind that this does not mean that this is a trend day, okay? Don't get those two things confused. Like, this is a trend. It may not be a trend day. In fact, in the 10-year, you may still be looking at a, well, for all we know, it's going to come back down to 120. And then it's actually just a range day. But that move is a trend. Okay, well, they got above the 05 now. So now we could maybe be looking at the 06. And I guess that was the pullback. You know, when they traded 6,000 into 04, I mean, that was maybe your signal that you could buy it again. No, yeah, okay. I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying, dude. You got to remember that a trend like the one we're seeing right now can flip on you very quickly. That's why I like to find the areas of balance and get out. Because there's a possibility that it just gets there at the 040 and then it stops. Now, they pulled back and they only went one tick, and I really expected it to go more than that, but okay. Absorption there at 040, that's a signal you could buy that. And now I think that you got that. And considering where it was at, it's 4 ticks, probably a pretty high probability that we're going to go up to 06. But at the time, there was still a possibility that, oh, hey, if they got through this at 65 and started trading out 3.5, we could come all the way back down here really quickly. And then it wouldn't be a trend day anymore, would it? And even here today, I'm going to guess that it's probably still going to be a double distribution day, not a trend day. And I think that double distribution days account for like 20% of all days. So it's more like 40 to 50% of days that you can take a trade like that. And even on range days, you might have a wide enough range that you can take a trade like that. I still think it's going to be a double distribution. Okay. So there again is another continuation signal. I'm a little confused on why they sold it there. I didn't see any reason for that much sell volume to come through. It needs to come back up, tick up above it. Yeah, so it was looking a little precarious for them for a moment, and then they ticked back up and there was a strong bid there. I think that's pretty good. I think you can say that the buyers have it and you might see 06. Okay. Okay, yeah. I guess another way of putting it is after you see an iceberg like that, you want to see one side clearly unable to defend itself. You know? So if we tick down and then the buyers aren't able to hit back into 050 and get it back up, that's really, really bad. That time they bought it and there was somebody selling it, but then so that's why it was kind of like it's a little bit uncertain because they could still more could come through. But they bought up through it, right? And now you can see that the buyers are defending themselves at 050. They're buying more here. So that's good. If we ticked back up, but then they traded back down and it only took like 1500 to trade back down, then I'd start to get a little more concerned. And then if we continue to see the absorption here and they keep doing that, at some point you're going to start seeing a situation where the buyers can't hold it at 045 and it's just going to trade down. And once it trades down and they put a big offer at 045, they're stuck. Same here on the other side. Like there's a ton of volume going through. Yeah, so I think that what you're gonna see here is a stop run. Yep. Okay, so that time the seller's not offering a whole lot. Well, Trader Arm has a good point, right? These things can turn on you very quickly. I guess we have enough balance here that probably any one down tick is probably not such a big deal. Like this right here. If this 040, if they had traded the 04 immediately instead of ticking back and forth there a couple of times, then that's the sort of thing where you get like one of those peak tops that come back very quickly. And you could see it like a bunch of people liquidate and then maybe they catch it here. Maybe they catch it here, so you get everybody thinking that it's a short now and getting destroyed. Okay, so there they ticked back up. And they put a big punch on the bid. Some people hit into 055, so it looks like we're still good. And I'm seeing some ZB is starting to get like they chomping at the bit. Look at these big offers, and there's two of them. Yeah, 07 I think would be an ideal. Okay. Come on. Whew. Well, it feels good to see that trade work well again, but look at it. They're absorbing fives there. That's not good, right? The offers are not. I think you can see that the offers aren't pulling anymore. Yeah. My entry on that one was 05. You see he's Tucker's pointing it out. But look at the way that the level 2 changed there. They came up through that, and now all of a sudden the offers show up above us. And they're absorbing at 06.5. It might It might stop here. It's hard to say. Obviously, the trends can just can just be so ridiculously strong, right? Let me take it. How do I do this? Look at the screen. So what I'm pointing out is here, strong bids below us. Okay. What is the driver? What is the target? This right here. Okay. So what happened? We're coming up. We get to a target, and then when you break through it, another one shows up right here. And then we break through that one, and another one shows up right here, right? You can see them where they showed up. Okay. Now look at this right here. Look at there's this spot, now this spot. So that was a stop run. They are switching it. Did it actually tick through there while I was talking? Yeah. Okay, so they did tick 07. Now, the interesting thing though is that mine doesn't show it. So those offers might not be significant. You see the 06 now? 05 hasn't traded. There's still a big offer at 06. I guess those have been the ones that have been following it up. Okay, so that was not a good tick down. I mean, there was 4,000 absorbing, but now they offered 2750, and for a moment there it was equal to the bid. I sniffed bullshit at the first big offer that vanished as soon as it touched. Where did you see that at, Dusty? Because I really feel like we could have jumped on this sooner. Okay. So wait, is Profit saying to short it here? So I'm not seeing the level break trade yet at 06.5. Maybe the people that do the level break trade have given up on it. Oh, there you go. They went through it anyways. It's just too much pressure on it. Yep. Yes, the prices are well auctioned. Yeah, so that's I like your way of putting that, Jack. Anyways, so here's kind of the decision point that I was pointing out, that this is a balance point, and because of that 13K there, and I wasn't sure if they were going to trade through it. They did, but this is still my target in ZB, and they did not reach that yet. So they're not lining up properly. And that might mean that we trade up 3 more ticks to 07. I need to reset them to be able to calculate this, right? So if this is 07, 3 ticks up is 08 half. Do we see a target there? No, but we do at 08. So this one might be this one. All the way down. Well, so the big one that I see is right here at 31 half. There was that 3987. A little bit of craziness there, but not stops. I don't know. So maybe that was your signal right there. So there's that one. Here's 120 is where I didn't see it, right? And remember, 120 was still like, oh, and even here. So the one that I'm really interested in is this was the decision point, right? This was the last pivot. And this was where I wasn't sure if we were in an uptrend or not. And that one, I don't know if that really tells me anything. This one, I think they bust through that one. That's pretty good. And then here at 025, it was. What did we say? There was divergence. Yes, that's right. So that was 025 was this thing right here in the 5-year. Okay. So that was then at the point that we could have said we're in a trend and I'm getting a continuation signal and I'm buy. So at 025, even though I didn't take it at the time because I was still really skeptical, but I think that 025 was the first place where with my existing signals and strategy, I think you could have safely bought. But I want to know between here and here, what was the thing that I missed that told us that we were going to do that? And that's the one that I'm interested in. That's the one that I seemed to not be paying attention there, and I missed something important, I think. 36 to 16. Oh, I'm sorry, Prophet. Do you not have permissions? No, you have permissions to post pictures. You should be able to. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that was earlier when he was showing us that Ninja Trader, or was it Ninja Trader? Yeah. Was there a buy at evens? Well, so here's another one is, oh, it was 015. I don't know. I just don't see the buy at evens. See, the trick is realizing that we're in an uptrend or that we're in a range bound area, and realizing it quickly enough to take advantage of it. Because the strategy that works when it's in a trend and the strategy that works when it's range bound are like total opposites. And all of the things that you do that make you really good at trading the range. Oh, that was a big take right there at 07. They might extend it a little bit here. I think that ZB wants to get that 07 now. Yeah. Interesting. Yep. Plus 10. Oh, there's 08. Okay. Yeah, but I only took 6 out of it. And I took it off at 065 and there was at least 2 or 3 more in it, yeah. I would be careful on the other side of like the whole like it's gonna just keep going sort of a thing. Because now when you say evens, you mean 03 evens? Or are you talking about 120.00? Oh, 120.00. I mean, if you had bought 120.00, you'd have plus 16, right? And you held it the whole time. But I think you're saying that you would have gotten out at 05. 050 when it came down 2 ticks. Okay, so they traded 07. Hmm. I'm guessing though that you're saying if you bought evens, that it wasn't because of an iceberg per se, right? It would have had to have just been more off of that they're pulling so much right here that they're really likely to go above this last pivot. Yeah. See, here's the problem with these is like, what did we think was going to happen? I thought that it was going to go like here, and then it was going to go down to that, and then it was going to come to here, and then I wasn't so sure. But instead, it just went right through. I think you may have been like me and said, let's wait for a pullback, right? If you did and you didn't get it, then hey, you should have bought that one, right? That was a pullback that there was some absorption in signal that it wasn't going to be able to get any lower. And that was still a good trade. And I think here on the split side, you know, we could get, I mean, like, and I do see some people selling it here. I wouldn't want to step in front of the train. But you know, we could see this 07 hold. We could see this 07 hold, and that the 08 is looking strong. This kind of makes me think that maybe there's another push left in it. But if we do it, I mean, we could have something where, let's just say that we get a flush down here, like that, to probably to 05. And then it could come back up, and you're going to probably stop there at 07 or 07 half, and then you could take the short there on the higher or on the lower high, and probably ride that one all the way back to the VWAP. Because the next setup that I'm seeing might happen. Or because it's either going to do that, there's two possibilities. It's either going to do that, or it's going to find balance somewhere around here. Probably at this 07. You get something like this. Probably like that. That's what I think is going to happen. And there is, I guess there is a possibility too, like the ZB could still go through here. You know, like they could go for another run. But then they still come back to balance here. I'm yapping. I don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm staying out at this point because I don't see a high probability trade at the moment. A low risk, high probability trade. I mean, you fading it here, obviously your risk is not very good. And if you buy it, it's so extended that there's some risk, because if it goes against you, it could go against you hard, right? So if you're going to see something like a good trade, you have to see something like, you know, 5K absorbed at 07 half, 08 pulls. You buy it as it goes. Those kinds of trades. Those really, really short scalps on it, on people getting stopped higher. That's what I think. That's how I look at it, at least. I don't know. I wish you have to go back and show me where it was at, like a 120. What was the particular thing where you said this is where I would have clipped? Because of this. Because I missed that one. I said, okay, I see stuff going on here, but this is not a place that I think I should take a trade. So, but it's better than yesterday, because once it got going, we did find some trades. And I would have had +6. Oh, I take that back. It's not +6. It's +4. It's +4, and then I got the E-mini one too, which was pretty good. Surprisingly enough, though, the E-mini did not get killed. Did it? Yeah. If you fade here, your risk is 2 ticks. If you long here, your risk is higher, in my opinion. Your
risking 2 ticks. So I think in ZB, you're risking at least 4. Okay, so now that they're trading 08, I think that there's a good chance they could go up to 11. That's the technical definition of a trend day. I'm sorry. Okay. You don't think that yesterday's action was a trend? I guess yesterday's action was kind of retracing what it had done earlier in the session. Yeah, yesterday was a little bit different. Even then, this is still just retracing what happened yesterday. Like, it's not even like right here. I don't know. I need to post. I'm getting distracted. Yeah, so here's why I think you have to be careful about the terminology there, okay? This is, without a doubt, a trend, okay? But is it a trend day? Why does that matter? Well, if it's a trend day, then you could get oh, that's way too big. If it's a trend day, you could get this. That's totally possible if it's a trend day. I'm not so sure if there's another 8-10 ticks left in this. I think that what's more likely is that you've got this line of resistance here. I mean, that's in ZN. It's a little bit better in ZB. Okay. So here in ZB, you've got this line here. Let me draw it. Drawing tools, line. Okay. Kind of gotta eyeball it, but okay. So the question is are they going to break this high right here at 145.16? You already see that there's an order at 15. So if it's a trend day, and I can't say if it is or it isn't, but if it's a trend day, then they could go past that 15, essentially is what they would probably have to do in order to make it a trend day. That's why I keep saying that what I think is more likely is we're going to get some range extension type action. Well, okay, never mind. They're absorbing 6,000 at 090. Never mind. So that's the level break again. Right below the low, they're going to hit it. It's getting a little crazy. This one's a little questionable, but it's not unusual for them to do the level break and sit down here for a little bit and then tick back up. So let's just watch it. Yeah, so then there's the other one is it wouldn't be 10 ticks, it'll probably be 8. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 5. Hey. Oh, gold is going up too. What is going on? This is actually starting to get me weirded out. Oh, wait, there is? Well, CNBC says that there's some Fed minutes, but I don't see. Oh, it's on Thursday. I don't know. This is kind of weird. And weird, guys. What's weird is for Treasuries to move up this much and the E-mini not be selling off. Did they take it? I think they did. Because it was at 09, right? Yeah. I didn't think that what happened yesterday was that weird. Why is this getting slow? Is it because it's ticking so much? Okay, well now where are we at? 10. And they're absorbing it to 10 too. I don't know. I agree. The thing that's weird about this move is all the absorption and stuff. So I understand what you're saying. It's just like where price is in comparison to previous days doesn't seem that far out, you know? So it could be a trend day. I don't know if it is or not yet. It will be interesting to find out, but that's not the point though. The point I was just trying to make is there's been a lot of times where I caught a trend and I thought it was a trend day, only to have that trend completely reverse on me, or to get long in a spot and then have it just chop around forever. So you've got to be careful. Even if it's a trend day, you've got to take those exits on the way up. When you see that absorption on the offer, or you see those balance areas, get out. And then if you see the continuation signal, you can get back in. So if you don't do that, then there's those days where it reverses, and it might not be today, but when it does, that can just royally screw you over. And I personally have not found a way to be able to tell for sure if it's going to be a trend day or a double distribution day or a reversal day. So that was the only point that I was trying to make about all that, Tucker. Anyways, I will catch you guys later.